You can't tell me Ødegaard doesn't see the pass anymore. You can't tell me that people can't play 5-yard progressive passes that have 5% risk attached to them. You can't tell me that these group of players have regressed that badly. Not sure we can continue like this for one more game, let alone potentially 7. Everyone's talking about the Newcastle game. Some are saying 1-0 professional victory, another clean sheet. But let's look at that game. Against Newcastle, had they have got away with a point, could we really have complained? If Wissa has his shooting boots on, they score that chance. It's 1-1, and we could say, well, we were in control of the game and we had the better chances. But fundamentally, we should have scored more than one to put that to bed. So if Wissa does score, how can we complain? And there's a real problem here because defensively, yes, we looked solid again, and we know that we've got that. But it's when we cross the halfway line, it seems like we've completely forgotten how to attack. It's clunky because maybe this doesn't happen in practice anymore. Stick with me, I'm going to come on to this. But guys, by the way, if you're tuning in, before you do anything else, if you're enjoying this type of content, you know it's a brand new channel, please do like and subscribe and hit the notifications button. It really helps me out and get my message out to further people. Now, let's look at the situation because the attacking side of things, people are saying, well, if Gyökeres can lay off a simple pass to Saka, it's 2-0 and it's game over and we'd breathe easier. All right, absolutely fine. Why is he, though, struggling to play those balls? And he's not the only one. There's been countless times this season where our end product, the pass or the pass before the pass to put us in, doesn't quite come off. So even when we try and play it, because a lot of the times we're not even trying to play it, but when we do try and play it, it doesn't come off. And then everyone's blaming the players. And I get that too. I want to go back to 2 years ago. And I want to look at the personnel we had in place. Martinelli, Saka, Declan Rice, Ødegaard, Ben White, Kai Havertz. These 6 players, and there'll be a couple more, played a massive part in us scoring 90-plus league goals that season 2 years ago, right? The same personnel that we have right now helped us score 90-plus goals that season. For context, we scored more goals that season with that group of players, the same group, than Liverpool scored last season when they won the title. And it wasn't even close. We outscored them by 7, 8, 9 goals. So my question is really this. We're having a go at Ødegaard. Why is he looking so bad? Why can't he play the ball through to Kai Havertz early on? Why does he not play the pass? Why does he not play between the lines anymore? Why has Saka not got his scoring boots on? Why has Martinelli fallen off a cliff? A guy who scored top scorer for us 2 seasons ago. Why has he fallen off a cliff or 3 seasons ago? Why is Declan Rice not producing any goals for us? We've got the same group of players and then we've added to them. Right? We've brought in Gyökeres. And I don't know if anyone saw that take. It's resurfaced now. Carragher said it before the season started. He said, Arsenal don't need a striker. In fact, even if they get a striker, whoever they get, they could get the best striker in the world. Towards the end of the season, the striker will be benched and Havertz will be playing up top for Arsenal. Because Arteta loves Havertz because of the way we play ball. I mean, what a take that's turning out to be. But these guys didn't all suddenly become shit overnight, right? They didn't all just suddenly forget how to put the ball in the net. There is a world where these players have been asked to not play the ball unless there is almost 0% risk of playing the ball through, right? Between the lines. So now We don't have those sweeping moves and those goals that were quick counterattacks that we scored 2 years ago, or Ben White overlapping and playing one-touch football, whipping it in when he was actually the player of the season for the second part of our season that year. And we're banging in goals. Crosses coming in across the deck. Crosses coming in the air. We're just not playing that football anymore because there's risk associated to playing those type of balls through. So, have the players fallen off a cliff? Yeah, looks like it. Why have they fallen off a cliff? We always have to ask the question why. And the why is Arteta trying to remove all percentage of risk from everything we do. If there is a 10% risk involved, don't play the ball, just recycle. Doesn't matter if it's 0-0, doesn't matter if we're 1-0 up, doesn't matter if we're 1-0 down, recycle the ball side to side until we get another opportunity to play a ball which has 0% risk. But newsflash, there is never going to be, or hardly ever going to be, an opportunity where the risk percentage of playing the ball through the lines is going to represent a 0% risk chance. Now, the players have been told that, and people will point at me and go, or look at me and go, well, what about Eze, Neil? He seems to be producing moments. Okay, well, what was Eze doing when he first joined Arsenal? Was he playing those through balls? Or was he actually playing more side-to-side stuff and taking no risks and therefore being completely ineffective? It's the latter. He was taking no risks. If you look back through our games, before Eze picked up an injury, he was tasked the same as everyone else. Make sure you recycle the ball. Make sure you keep hold of the ball. Keeping hold of the ball gives us control. But we're not quick enough with it. So it's dull. But that's okay because we've got the ball. And if we've got the ball, the opposition can't hurt us. And we've got a massively solid defence behind us. Now, Eze is the only one that's producing magic moments for us. And he's done it again against Newcastle. So if he's the only one that's producing these magic moments for us, why is it that he's allowed to do that, Neil, and everyone else is tasked with playing side-to-side football and keeping control of the ball? It's because Eze is completely ineffective at doing what Ødegaard does, which is keep the ball and play it side-to-side. In fact, he's unable to do it, and a lot of times he was losing possession. So what Arteta's done is we're going to play both. And Ødegaard is going to play the control role because he can control that and play side-to-side football and not get dispossessed as much as Eze was doing. So he can still do the job that I need him to do. And we'll give Eze the free role because if we don't do that, he's going to lose the ball anyway. And actually, it's going to hamper us. Plus, it is the business end of the season. We do need to get a goal from somewhere. We'll just look to Eze to be the one that is a bit of a maverick. And everyone else is playing in this controlled structure. I'm sorry to harp on about it, but this is exactly what's happening because I see a lot of content creators, podcasters, pundits laying into the players. Oh, Gyökeres should have just played that ball. Yeah, it was a straightforward ball. But I tell you what, the type of football we're playing in the more progressive side of the pitch, or as soon as we cross the halfway line, is so clunky, so disjointed, it almost looks like we don't practice it. And maybe we don't because maybe we are actually just playing recycle ball. And maybe no one's playing any through balls in practice enough that when it comes to game time, it just becomes second nature. Because it's not second nature for these guys like it was 2 years ago to play between the lines, to play sweeping football, to play breathtaking football and scoring a lot of goals. It's not second nature to them. Well, if it's not, it's got to be because they're not practicing it enough, right? In anything in life, you have to practice it first. So when it comes to game day or the moment you need to deliver, you're able to do it seamlessly. And if you're not able to do that, you can see you've not put the practice in. This is the message that's being given to these players, and it's not sustainable for even one more game because we struggled at home against Newcastle, who, let's face it, are in a terrible run at the moment. People go, oh, it's Newcastle. It's always a tough game for Arsenal. Yeah, historically it is. But you couldn't be playing Newcastle at a better time than we were playing them right now. They were off the back of 3 straight Premier League losses. They are terrible. They're lower than mid-table. They're bottom half of the table. They're not a good side at the moment, and they were missing key players like Livramento, Anthony Gordon, right? So what are we going to do against a Fulham side that is actually a better side than Newcastle, that is providing more threats and have their players fit that can actually hurt us? I don't think this is sustainable at all. Arteta's going to have to break the structure here a little bit, because you can't tell me Ødegaard doesn't see the pass anymore. You can't tell me that people can't play 5-yard progressive passes that have 5% risk attached to them. You can't tell me that these group of players have regressed that badly. These players are under clear instructions, and unfortunately, these instructions are going to derail us, because we've got potentially another 7 games left. There's no way we can do this. Now, I've spoken about Fulham. Before Fulham on the weekend, we have obviously got Atleti midweek. We go over to them, and again, unbeaten in the Champions League, but it has been a little bit underwhelming. The last leg against Sporting Lisbon, we look pretty bang average across both ties. And if it wasn't for David Raya keeping us in the first leg and a moment of quality from Martinelli and Havertz, you know, that could have been a very, very long evening. So I am a bit concerned, because the Atletico we smashed 4-0 earlier in the season ain't the same Atletico we're going to be playing midweek. So we need to go there, make sure we don't get beat, be strong, be resolute in defence. I guess that is something that we do have. And so actually we could come away with a draw. If we can come away with a clean sheet, then hey, it's advantage us. But something needs to change here, because we need to score goals, and Atleti have threats. We know of one of them very, very well, right? Julian Alvarez. So, but they've got more than just Julian Alvarez. So we need to be super clinical when we get our chances, and something needs to change here. We need to start taking more risks. It can't just be down to Eze to provide 7, 8, 9, 10 more magic moments, because that's what he's going to have to do for us to get over the line. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please, as I said before, do give it a like and subscribe if you do like the content. I will respond to every single comment, and I will see you all on the other side of the Champions League semi-final first leg.